Pastor Terry just got done teaching on staying young at heart. And now it's time to explore a few ways that we can do this at home, on the job, and with our friends and families. First, let's get the bad news out of the way. We all have an expiration date on us. We don't know when it is, but if we live to be old enough, we'll go through all the stages of aging and our bodies will wear down and eventually wear out. Even so, how we age, we can have influence over. I like to say that if I'm so blessed, I want to die young at a ripe old age. Let me say that again. I want to die young at a ripe old age. And since I know my body can't be young when I'm old, I must keep my mind, and more importantly, my attitude, youthful. So how can we, within God's instructions, keep our attitude youthful and fresh? We need an app for this, so let's call it the Fresh app. Let's start with staying fascinated. Think about the look on a child's face the first time they see something they've never seen before. It's not only curiosity, it's fascination with what they might learn, experience, and encounter. Yes, we can stay fascinated too, but that means we need to be open to what is new and what is different. And we will never be so unless we get out of our rut and try something new today and every day. Maybe we need to visit someplace like the new San Francisco Exploratorium, just to watch the children's reactions, to remind ourselves of what it means to be fascinated. And then make our own list of things we want to see or listen to or explore every day. When we stop being fascinated, it's a good indicator. It's time for us to freshen up. Our attitude is also influenced by staying rejuvenated. You see, we can keep our attitude rejuvenated by keeping our minds filled with the positive and the uplifting, and always learning and always growing. We know that we can start each day with the good news of God's Word, but also by starting each day with something positive versus maybe jumping right into the debates and the contention of social media or the talk shows. There are actually apps and blogs that will send daily morning positive messages to us. I was told by a cardiologist once that the best thing we can do for our physical body rejuvenation is to start each day with a big glass of fresh water. Let's find our attitude fresh glass of water for each and every day. Let's also be enthusiastic. As we grow older, it becomes harder to remain enthusiastic. It was when we were young, when we would single out something special each day that we looked forward to. What if we were to write down each evening one thing that tomorrow we could be enthusiastic about? We have much to be enthusiastic about in our lives if we just stay grateful and thoughtful about them. Now, since we're talking about life apps, here comes a tech term for you: synchronous. This means to be connected. In our case, it means to be connected to what's going on around us. We're taught to not be of the world, but we certainly can't escape being in it. So we should make the most of what we're given. I like to stay synchronous because I find many opportunities to relate what's going on in the current world for how I carry and conduct myself for God's purposes. I use the 3 M's: movies, music, and magazines to stay current. Now that doesn't mean I have to see, listen, or read things that are not good for my mind, but there's plenty that is great, relevant, and current that can keep us synchronous and fresh if we'll only seek them out and watch out for becoming too rigid or not being open to the new and current. Lastly, staying young at heart can be helped along by remaining hopeful. This is where our life platform as believers of Jesus give us a real reason to stay young at heart, because our hope for everything, today and eternally, is built upon God's promises to us. If we fully believe this to be true, then no matter how bad things are all around us, in the big or in the personal picture, we can be hopeful. The poet Alexander Pope wrote, "Hope springs eternal." How better to stay young at heart than to have hope? So there we have it, our Fresh Life app. Let's take this app into our lives and do our best to stay young at heart. We'll now have our time of giving and close out with our final song.